Here's what happened when I finally started regulating my nerve system. My movements got more mindful, softer, calmer, but also my body tension on muscle aches that I had really faded or felt better after a while. The same with my breath. It deepened, it felt more regulated, and my anxiety dropped tremendously. These are one of the first signs that I could see in the behavior that changed while I was starting to regulate my nerve system. So let's move on to point number 2. What is the issue and how are we holding back to have a regulated nerve system? It's definitely the world we're living in, the fast-paced world where multitasking seems to be one of the norms, especially in workplace, getting everything done in the most efficient way. That also meant for me, I was always in a flight-fight mode. My anxiety was so high, my stress level, and many other things. But that meant that we are in a stage where our body language really has a big impact on us, and not in a good way. I felt the body is hardening and the tensions grow. Your jaw muscle, your face muscle may be hardening. It could be you're shrugging your shoulders and that really gives you the stiffness. Sometimes even overall we get cramps or even body or any bloating issues just because we are so irregulated with our nerve system. The whole thing is really a symbiosis. We really have to watch it. Now that we know that the issue is more a fast pace and the body is also screaming for signs and want to show us. The problem is we're still trying to get everything done as quick as possible. Sometimes we're making a mistake or something will break, but there is so much intention of having that fast-paced thing. And not only in the workplace, I found myself many of times when I came home that I wanted to rush all these random tasks or where I was not really feeling to do. I try to do them as quick as possible so that I have afterwards the time for myself where I can calm, be intentional. But that wasn't really the biggest and perfect approach, but we all start somewhere. Glad to see you back for another video on Ladies Mental. If you're new here, my name is Nina, where I welcome a more simplified lifestyle that helps me truly to ground and start to prioritize what I truly want to achieve in life. So if that's something you're interested in and want to work towards, feel free to subscribe and leave a comment. I'm always curious to know more about you, or if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Let's move on to point number 3. How can we really fix this? Thinking back now, it was crazy how I operated and how that could be my normal. Anyway, I really think you can relate to that, but let's dive in what we can change. The first thing I want to recommend you to do is change your breathing. Breathing techniques are really there to regulate our nerve system, can also deepen the breath. Meditation is something that I also start in the beginning, but when it comes to breathing, do for sure the box breathing. The box breathing works, you're inhaling for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4 and holding again. So that's kind of the box shape you have. When I integrated that in my daily routines at work as much as I could, it really had to be an effort in the beginning. It felt even a bit intense, but once you understood that this technique helps you so much, that in the intense moments that you can find that calmness just through your breath is amazing. Still using it, and sometimes it's just that little click. Why am I doing this? How is this really going to help me to stay mindful and intentional, but also nourishing my whole being and the way I react? Next, I had to fix my routines at home. As I said, coming home, rushing the things through, just that I have more me time. But that me time already started when I left my workplace. And that is where the big thing happened for me. I started to really work on just 5 minutes. When I come home, I did nothing. Maybe I changed my clothes, had a breathing session, meditated. Once I could do that for a week or 2, I leveled it up for 10 minutes. In that 10 minutes, I did exactly the same, some breathing techniques, but started more mindful tasks. Maybe I started to color a book or did a puzzle, listen to a podcast that really calms me down, but more mindful movements. It could be knitting, anything like that. Perfect. I reached another level. Here I found like it's already too much of time that I could do my things and everything. But there I understood, just because I'm doing 10 minutes, the mindset will not shift as quickly. So I did a third level with 15 minutes, which was for me the hardest part to do, because it's just 5 minutes more, but in total the 15 minutes that truly made the biggest effort and where I had to come back and come back. You're building a new soil, that your roots are more nourished and you get a flower. We want to really create that flower that represents us in a way that we are nourishing. We have good strong leaves and some thorns if we maybe are a rose. But to get there, we need to achieve that 15 minutes level. Good. You're implementing these 15 minutes into your chores and your tasks when you come home. Still recommending to change your clothes, maybe get more comfortable, do the things that help you to feel regulated, calm and ready. Like I've got sometimes so overstimulated from wearing makeup, certain tight clothes. That was one of the first things I changed, just to make my body calm in the clothes I wear, get myself warm, putting on comfy clothes and music. I started to do the chores with music, even had certain scenarios, like the dishes was one of the things that really annoyed me as much because I didn't have a dishwasher, everything has to be done by hands. I put on medieval music and then imagine I was in a tavern, so might be a good help. But not just that, it can be just small little movement, do them softer. Everything softer. I find we have to watch ourselves in the daily things. Brushing our teeth, instead of this, we make it a bit softer. Same with combing our hair, putting on our clothes, not in a rush. All these fast-paced movement that we have in are almost like tics, I find. They're so there. They just come out so automatically. So ask yourself intentional questions. Is this movement or that action that I'm doing right now helping me to feel more calmer, mindful and regulated nerve system? These small movements have such a big impact. Watch yourself. Maybe even if you're so tense, make a video of yourself where you're brushing your teeth or doing your chores. See if you're shrugging your shoulders. Do some stretching. When we are becoming more intentional, we start to shift. And I wish everyone has a more calmer nerve system. It helps so much. And I think it's definitely something that we all have to cope with and understand. It's not an easy fix. It might take time, years, and minimalism truly helped me a lot as well in this. Like that I understood there's not that much stuff and overwhelming things that I have to do. And that made truly space. I really hope that gave you a good push to start to have a more calmer intention, because calm is the new sexy, I find, and the same with the quiet is the new loud. It builds our system better. And who doesn't want to have a more mindful, flourishing lifestyle? So let me know how it works for you, what you're doing to calm your own nerve system. Until then, we see us. I wish you a great day. Take care. Bye.